Meeting with Mayor Ghalib, city of Hamtramck. He recently made world news today with a decision that impacts not just Hamtramckans but the global community, the diaspora that lives here in this country, and especially Muslim community. So we'll be talking to him. He has been under a lot of criticism from some fronts, and a lot of people are supporting his decisions. So we'll find out why he made certain decisions and then how it impacts the community. So welcome, Mayor Ghalib, to the program.
Thank you for having me.
So you made the decision to endorse publicly Donald Trump, and I know it was a decision that it was in the making for some time. Please walk us through, in short, in a summary, that what led up to this decision.
Thank you, Mr. Asim, for having me today here. I've been under so much pressure from the media over the past 2 days, where I received, I would say, hundreds of media requests, and I wasn't able to accommodate all of them. But what happened was not an overnight decision. It's the result of series of events and meetings and communication with different groups and teams and politicians and elected officials and people of power. So as you know, we are in Michigan, in a swing state, and every vote counts, and the state could be swinged by 10 to 20,000 votes. So unfortunately, we have not been reached out by the Democrats, I would say, over the past year or so. They think we are just numbers that are guaranteed, and despite of some differences and disagreements that happened over the past year or two. And that gap was taken advantage by the other side. Over the past 3 months or so, they never stopped communicating with me. But again, you remember, even last year, some people came from the administration of the former administration of President Trump, and came to Hamtramck. I did not invite them; they reached out to me. And I talked in an interview with Tudor Dixon, if you remember, about some shifting dynamics that's happening in the community.
Yeah.
And I said at that time, there's nothing that's being done by the Democrats to prevent this shift in dynamics that's happening.
So they never reached out to you to have access. They felt that these votes are guaranteed for Democrats, so they didn't feel like reaching out to you or reaching out to the leadership.
Yes, there was no direct contact. I mean, I remember one time I received an email from someone asking to meet with me, but it was right after the governor visited Hamtramck without my knowledge. The second day, actually, and I wasn't interested to meet with that person. But the other side did a lot of efforts, and they suggested multiple times to send someone from the family of President Trump, or the assistants, or the close friends of him, and I always rejected that offer. I said, only President Trump. I would like to, if they would like to consider my support, I have to meet him. And then they took things seriously, because they knew how important this decision will be, and I was surprised that President Trump accepted my request, and he asked me to meet him in a closed session before the rally in Flint last week, and that was just the fruit of series of meetings and contacts with his campaign team.
So we'll get to Flint. So you yourself you are a Democrat.
I am.
And so how does it make you feel that Democrats, Trump, a presidential campaign reaching out to you from Republican side, and Democratic side, none of them reached out to you to secure those guaranteed votes, knowing that it can impact the election. Wayne County, Michigan is a vital and swing vote county. How did it make you feel that you are not being? I know you demanded that you will only talk to President Trump. So how did it make you feel that you are not being quoted by them?
Well, I knew that they have their own points of contact. There are people who claim that they represent the Arab American community, and so they always communicate with them. And we are just in the background. They don't think we are important. They think we are just on the margins of events, and that was something I felt it's disrespectful to us.
So we meaning the voters in Hamtramck.
Hamtramck and Wayne County.
Muslims.
Wayne County as well, yes. So to neglect Hamtramck and to neglect the Yemeni American voters who represent now, the Yemeni American minority is the largest minority in Wayne County now. So that negligence, made me feel like we are not respected, we are not important to the Democratic leadership, and they always have the old establishment in other cities that they deal with, and it made me feel that we are not important, and that we have to find a way to make them hear our voices.
Now, did the Washington try to help? Hamtramck is financially in a troubled city for some time. And I know GM, possibly the jail being shut down is going to impact financially. Did Washington or our congressman, did they offer any help, or how did they treat Hamtramck?
This is one thing that's of real concerns. We have received grants and stuff from the federal and state. But when you talk about the congressman that represent Hamtramck, I don't remember anything significant for Hamtramck. In fact, a couple months ago, we received a letter, an email that they are not proceeding with 2 projects that we asked for, and they are not huge, but we received something that says, sorry, we are not proceeding with these 2 projects. And then, as you remember, the congressman has put a map or a diagram of how much money he brought to the communities, and if you look at that diagram, you wouldn't see Hamtramck in that. You wouldn't see Hamtramck. So I don't remember anything that was done, which means this is another unfortunate thing. Yes, we need a lot of support. We get some grants, but we feel like we need more, and especially talking about things of concern that some funds were coming to the alleyways and it was stopped for some reason. So these are things that we are concerned about, because you can't use collective punishment for the community because you have disagreement with the mayor or with the city council. That's not ethical, I would consider.
Now going back to presidential campaign, and what motivated you to meet President Trump in Flint? Why did you feel that it'll bring it'll be beneficial to the community, and what led you to be interested in meeting him?
So, as you know, I am one of the elected officials who supported the uncommitted campaign, and it resulted in over 100,000 uncommitted vote in Michigan. That was supposed to be of serious concern to the Democrat, and there was a reason for that. The top one would be the way they are handling the situation in the Middle East and the war on Gaza. So, yes, Biden was replaced by Harris, but the strategy continued to be the same. We didn't see any change in the course of foreign policy. No major efforts were taken to stop the war and ceasefire. And despite of sending that strong message of the uncommitted campaign, nothing was changed. So And before the uncommitted campaign, like I said, last year I talked about some signs of shifting dynamics and what are the catalysts for that shifting dynamics. If you go back to my interviews, you will see them. Nothing was taken into consideration by the Democrats. Now the other side seized the opportunity and started communicating with me. When I found that my political party is not listening to my concerns, like I said, to the point where some people abuse their power to just punish our community in one way or another. That was the reason why I accepted to communicate with the other side. And I saw that they are very interested in showing support and building good relationships after decades of disconnect between us and the
So they were more interested in hearing your concerns than
Yes.
the Democrats. So the procedures that you followed to before the meeting and how you were introduced, if you tell us a little bit about it.
So as you know, I have been in contact with the campaign team for a while, and I met them multiple times. I told them that I cannot decide or take a tough decision to support unless I hear from the top officials, like not just from any random person. Some people showed, their doubt, and they were like, "This is not gonna happen. Why does it have to be either or none, either all or none? Why can't you see his son, for example? Why not his assistant or someone from?" I said, "I will see all of them, but I need to talk to President Trump himself." And they asked me then to send them an official letter, which I did. I did send them an official letter, and the response was surprising. He asked to meet me, private meeting, closed session before the rally in Flint, as a first step toward the possibility of him coming to Hamtramck to hold a rally here. So I found that these guys are reasonable. They are seizing the opportunity. They are trying to address our concerns, and they show us respect, and they value our existence and our significance in this state.
Well, that's interesting. What led up to, and so how much did he, when he met with him, how much did he know about you and your constituency?
So the moment he walked into the room, the designated area where I was waiting for him, he arrived at around 6:30 or 6:35. The rally will start at 7. He arrived directly to that room where I was waiting for him. And the moment I introduced myself, I said, "I'm Ghalib, the mayor of Hamtramck," and he was like, "Yes, I know you. I heard a lot about you. You are a good guy," and all this stuff. And then we just that's it. He knows about me, and we sat down and we started talking. And his first question was about the change in polls that he keeps following those, how much how many points he went up or down. But then he asked me straight, "What do you think about my debate?" And then I told him about my opinion. I told him that his closing statement was good and it summarized the whole thing. So he said, "Okay, for that I'm going to take that closing statement and make it like an ad or a promo and just spread it in the media, because he thinks it's
a good statement.
It's a good statement."
Yeah.
And then he started asking me questions about how the statistics here, and whether I'm okay to endorse him or ask the people to vote for him. He asked very kindly, "Would you be able to do that?" And I told him, "Let's talk about it. I'm here to talk about that." And then he showed full attention. He gave me his full attention, and he asked me about the situation in Yemen as well, in details. I explained to him, because it's complex, and you need someone who really knows the complexity of the situation in Yemen. Yeah. And I explained to him, and he was surprised how things are because the media does not deliver the right message to the world. And then he asked me if I can speak. He said, "Would you be able to get up on the stage with me?"
Okay.
Because it was like minutes away from us, and he wanted me to speak. But his assistant next to him said, "We did not plan for that," and he still insisted. He was like,
They didn't want to go off script.
Yes.
Yeah.
But again, they said the guy said that I'm controversial. But he said, "I don't care. He's controversial." Okay, that's good. I like him. He's a good guy. But then I understood that they don't want
Discomfort
anything
for
because
the-
it's not planned ahead. I
Yeah.
told them that's okay. This time I'll not speak, but maybe next time. But he was very friendly. He listened to me. I mean, and when you see him on the TV, he could be a little bit scary, but in person he was very kind.
Friendly guy.
Yeah, and he after that he asked for my card and how to pronounce my name and how to pronounce the city exactly. So I educated him about that, and we started a channel of communication. And to have an access to the White House, that's a major change. That's a major accomplishment. So if he wins, that's a big thing. This is just the beginning of we can't say that he will listen to everything we want. We can't dictate everything, but it's the beginning of building that relationship and building trust between us and the top leadership of the Republicans.
So I know you invited him to visit Hamtramck, or was that something they were planning on? And how did he take it? Do you feel that they will be making a trip here?
So I handed him another official letter that has more information because I was thinking that the meeting would last minutes, just like what happened between me and President Biden last time when he visited Factory Zero. I waited for an hour to see him and take a picture with him. Then we ended up talking for like 2 minutes. And I took the picture and they never sent it to me, an official picture. I was expecting that it could be that quick, but so for that reason I wrote more information on this official letter that I had with me. So we handed it to him, and it turns out that the meeting took about 20 minutes, which was enough to tell him about everything I wanted. But there are more information on that official letter, including invitation to visit Hamtramck. So right after I posted my endorsement, he told the media that he is considering visiting Hamtramck because he was waiting that day. It was Sunday, and he was waiting for my endorsement to be posted before he had interviews with the media. So he was like, "I'm gonna wait until I see the endorsement, and then I will post it on his Trust Social, media that
Truth
he owns."
Social, yeah.
Yes, and so as soon as I posted it, in 2 minutes, he reposted it on his Trust Social, and then he started his interviews with the media, and he told them about what happened and his meeting with me, and that he's ready to visit Hamtramck. He's considering it.
So do you feel if he gets elected, you may become a regular at the White House? There is a good possibility of that, and might take advice on behalf of the Muslim community. How do you feel about that? If it may or may not happen, but you'll have easier access than most people, for sure. So how do you feel about that? How would you use that to everyone's
So they
advantage?
might be surprised how, on the personal level, I never asked them for anything. I didn't want any promises for me personally, and they know that. They know that very well, and I think they are surprised that I'm not asking for anything personal for me, but I'm asking for stuff for the community. And so to have an access to the White House, that would be something great. I mean, I don't know if it's gonna happen or not. I don't know if he's gonna win or not. And I was very careful. I picked the vocabularies and the statements in my endorsement very carefully. And I started saying, let's be clear, and so we can have real expectations. So our expectation to be like realistic, because we don't want people to think that we can dictate what he has to do. The second statement was, we may not agree on everything. So for them, in the future, if he does something that people don't like, I may not like it as well, because I said there is disagreement between us. And I said in the same endorsement that I know there's a possibility that he may win or he may not. So I'm ready to face the consequences of either one. I mean, I would love to have direct communication and access to the power making, to the decision making team. That would be great. Of course, I will advocate for my community here, for Hamtramck, for Michigan, for the Arab and Muslim communities. But I don't know what's going to happen. I don't want to predict the future.
So it's not just Hamtramck then, it'll be the local, because if you have this much access, if he wins, then you can also help the local communities to grow.
Yeah.
So you made a difficult decision to support, and I'm sure you are taking a lot of heat from different angles, local and national. I mean, it made local and international media attention. Do you feel that local media or media is treating you fairly because of this decision, or have they ever treated you fairly?
Well, look, it depends on what kind of media. At this time, I would say that the conservative media is celebrating my decision, and they are covering it in a positive way. Some other media are, covering it in a negative way. For example, let me give you an example. There's a guy who reached out to me today asking me about some articles that were written 2 years ago when I became a mayor, accusing me of being Islamist, extremist, bigot, all these crazy stuff that happened. It was written by some groups that target Muslim elected officials, and their website is saying that, for focus on whatever Muslim, I don't remember exactly the name, and I don't want to say it, but this person took that article and he's asking me about them. I was like, is this time to talk about these things? And taking the comments of some posts that were done years ago, like 7-8 years ago, when I was nobody at that time. Some people used to comment under my post, with some statements that I don't agree with. And this guy is taking these comments and saying, "Oh, this represents you." I was like, "How is it? Why is it supposed to represent me?" These are people who commented under my post, and I'm not responsible for what they did.
Just free speech, so they write something. I mean,
exactly. And so why are these people trying to bring these issues up now, when the whole world is covering different topic? It's mainly to try to destroy my relationship with some groups, but they attempted that 2 years ago and it didn't work. And I even some people came to the city council to repeat the same rhetoric that they read, but I responded to them at that time, and I neglected this request today as well. But this is one way how some media wants to cover what's happening now, and this is telling you how this, let's say, follows in our political party that we work with. When you disagree with them on something, they take it too far to target you personally, to target your faith, to target your background, and to even twist things and misinterpret things. And it has been going on for the past 2 years, and I've been complaining about that, but nobody wanted to change their behavior. And I think this is some of the reasons why we reach a point of no return.
I heard that you had some positive responses during Tuesday's council meeting. No negative comments. So do you feel that the community is rallying behind you, and you are moving the community in the right direction?
Well, I would say most of the community is supportive now. I know that there are people who are disappointed and they disagree with me, but they have been disagreeing with me for the past 3 years since I announced that I'm running for the mayor. Those are the same people. From day one, they disrespected me. They undermined my power and my influence in the community, and they have been doing the same thing. So no surprise. This is no surprise to me. I expected it, and I still expect more. But the community is very supportive. I was surprised that today people, community leaders, started making videos, short videos, and posting it on social media.
Yes.
There's more now coming. Everybody's doing the same thing to show support. This is unexpected support. Actually, I didn't expect that much support. Not only from Hamtramck, but from other cities too. From Dearborn, Malvindale, Detroit, other cities in Michigan, and even from out of the state. I
New York, I've seen some commentary from New York.
So yeah, remember, historically we were voting Democrats. All the Arab Americans and Muslim Americans. So this is a big shift. Yes, some will stay committed to vote Democrats in my community, and I respect that. I mean, I will continue serving them just equally, just like anybody else. But there's a major shift, and this is a loss for one side, a gain for the other side. So it may has a huge impact in the election.
Well, you have definitely started a new style of politics in Hamtramck, that nothing is guaranteed, and you look at like what's in it for me and the community versus I'm going to support you anyways because I am, of your party. So this will also be an awakening moment for other communities also, that if the support I am getting when I need it, it's going to be vital and important. Well, thank you, Mayor Ghalib, for your time. I know you're busy. You are getting ready for other interviews. So thank you so much for coming to our show.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Greg.
Well, thanks for watching our program. We are on YouTube, and if you go to Hamtramck Public Library, you can see the video and other video links. So thank you so much for your time, and then hit that like button on YouTube, and also follow us so you can see more videos like this. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Oh.